Hello, SVUE students. It is the week of September 28th. Everyone, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now it's time for the Avid Spartan Pledge. I am an avid Spartan, always prepared for the day. Very respectful to all that come my way. Intentionally safe and determined to exceed. I am an avid Spartan, and today I will succeed. We are going to go over two categories that are left for the Always Being Prepared section. Last week we talked about how always being prepared for classwork and for live class meetings. Today we will be talking about Google Classroom and your workspace. Whether you have used Google Classroom before, or if it's the first time, it is here to stay. Hopefully we'll be back together in person before too long, but even so, we are now always going to be prepared for such events. It's a good idea to get on board while the train is still moving slow. To be prepared is to be informed. And with Google Classroom, there are several ways to stay on top of all the information. The first thing I'm going to show you is the to-do list. This list is super useful because it tells you exactly what you need to do and when you need to do it by. No matter what is going on in the stream or in classwork, you can always see what is due that day and that week. I'm going to show you an example of how to use the to-do lists on Google Classroom. There are a couple of ways to see this. You can either go to these three lines up here and click on To Do, or you can come down to this little menu right here and click View All. You will also notice that it will notify you of any upcoming assignments for that week. Click the View All tab and you can see all of the assignments that you are supposed to do and have already turned in. It'll also let you know if you are missing assignments. If you go to the to-do list option, it will show all of your assignments for every class so that you can stay on top of what you need to do. This is a very useful tool that will help you stay organized while working on Google Classroom. The second thing I'm going to show you is the calendar. If you're someone that thinks about the order of events or even the dates associated with those different assignments, then the calendar is a good way for you to keep track of everything. To find your Google Classroom calendar, you need to go to the Classwork tab. There it will be listed next to the calendar icon below. Once you're in Google Calendar, you can see there are assignments listed on what day they're due. If they're due at a specific time, it will also show up what time you are supposed to complete them by. You can change the setting by going here and selecting day, week, month, year, or a custom schedule of your choice. The last thing you can do to always be prepared in Google Classroom is to make sure that you're checking morning messages, the class stream, and your emails every morning. It is important to know about anything that is going to be different that day or any new information. Most of those change in plans are posted in the stream in the morning. You should be checking in with your class at 8 a.m. If for some reason you weren't able to make the morning meeting, it is important for you to look at the stream. Before you ask a question, make sure that the question hasn't already been answered in a message. The last thing to always being prepared has to do with your workspace. It is important to make sure that your family is aware that you are in a meeting. In an office, people are expected to be professional all the time. However, at home, it's a place where that professionalism can become more relaxed. But giving your family a warning makes for less embarrassing situations.
Honey, you forgot your Christmas Cookie Monster pajamas on the floor again.
Mom, I'm in a video call. This is a weird way to think about it, but imagine the whole class is standing at a window of your house looking in. Creepy, but it's basically what you're doing when you're on a video call. So make sure that your family knows before you open up the curtains. I want to finish up with this last reminder. By being an avid school, we are preparing for our futures in the workforce, at college, and in careers. Speaking of careers and the workforce, there are a lot of different hats that go with different jobs. Construction workers, archaeologists, professional athletes, and even astronauts. There is just about a hat for every job out there. This Friday, you will be able to participate in SVUE Upper Elementary's Hat Day. Wear a hat that represents your dream job, or just a hat that you really like. We just received an announcement from the Considerate Alliance of Poised People, or CAP, for short. They wish to remind you that wearing a hat during a video call is a privilege to be respected. If these hats become a distraction or are misused in any way, they will be asked to be removed from your noggin. Hashtag respect the hat. I, for one, am excited to see what hats you will be wearing. Have you heard the word asynchronous? That is a word you may have heard in the past few months. But what does it mean? We are going to break down the vocabulary and then explain what it means for you. Asynchronous used to be a term used in astronomy, but lately it is used in the area of technology called telecommunications. Breaking it down simply, it is the difference between watching a video on a YouTube channel and watching YouTube Live. Lots of different YouTubers use both synchronous and asynchronous videos to connect with their followers. The most common is asynchronous. They record and upload the video, and you can watch it whenever you want. Synchronous would be an example of doing a YouTube Live, where the YouTuber interacts with their followers in real time. So what are asynchronous days? What that means for you is that your teachers have prepared assignments and projects for you to do ahead of time and posted it to Google Classroom. Then you are able to log in and complete those assignments at a different time. This frees up your teacher to be able to do some learning of their own. Yes, we're learning too, more so this year than normal. And being able to work independently on the work your teacher has provided is what allows them to do so. That makes you a part of the team. It's time for the special day of the week. On the 30th of September, it is National Podcast Day. You may have heard of podcasting, or maybe not, but it is definitely the next new thing. It comes from two words, iPod and broadcasting. It is basically like radio, but on demand. It used to be called audio blogging, but now it is widely known as podcasting. It used to be primarily promoted through Apple, but Spotify has noticed how much podcasting has grown in just the last few years. They recently added an entire section just for podcasts. Over 50% of the nation has listened to podcasts. There are over 800,000 podcasts available in Apple alone as of 2019, and Google reports that there are about 2 million indexed podcasts. Because podcasts have only been around since 2004, it is still on the rise. If you listen to a podcast, I want to hear about it. If this is your first time ever hearing about podcasting, I would encourage you to check it out. There are podcasts for just about anything you can think of. And if there isn't, maybe you can be the one to start one. Happy listening. Time for the joke of the week. What brand of headphones do farmers use when listening to their podcasts? Beats. Question for you. This week's question is, which two people are credited with the invention of podcasts? Comment your answers down below. I am Mr. Hubbard, and I'll see you next week.